What's up everybody, welcome to my channel. I'm Scott and welcome to Ellumacent Art, and I hope you're all having a wonderful day. So in this tutorial, I know it's been a long time since I've done a tutorial and I do apologise. I've had a lot of things going on, and also I've been trying to get my characters ready for my game, and there's quite a lot for me to still do before I can actually show more of my game off. But I'm nearly halfway there, so there will be some more videos on the way of actually how my game plays, a bit of tutorials on how to play the game, and a few things like that, with other tutorials on the way. So if you haven't subscribed, please hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on all that. But let's get to the purpose of this video. So I have quite a few questions in the past couple of months saying, how do you lay your cards out, or how do you select your cards, Scott, for your booster packs? Now, there's many ways you could do this. Some people leave it to be completely random. You know, some people might print off one sheet of 9 common cards, one sheet of 9 uncommon cards, and one sheet of 9 of rare cards. Some people might just mix and match the cards. Some might just have 3 common, 3 uncommon, and 3 rare, all on one sheet. But I'm just going to show you how I actually plan my cards for print, and how actually I plan my booster packs for you guys when you pick them up. So first thing we're going to do, I'm going to jump onto Photoshop, as you can see, and I've got my Foxhound ready to go. So I'm going to show you how I actually plan my cards for print. So the first thing I need to do is actually just minimize this. I need to open up a brand new document, so file new, make sure it's A4, make sure you got a width of 210mm and 297mm with a resolution of 300, and make sure you're using RGB mode and 8-bit. The background is up to you, but I'm going to go for a transparent background, and I'm just going to hit OK. So I've got my new canvas here. So if you remember in one of my tutorial videos, I did mention depending on what printer you use, you might have to resize your cards, and I will leave a link in the top corner up there of the tutorial. I showed you how I actually resize my cards using Photoshop. That might help you guys out if you're having trouble trying to get your cards to be the exact same size as a Game Crafter card or a standard TCG card. So make sure you check out that video, because it's going to be important when it comes to actually planning your sheets for print, like I'm showing you in today's video. So what I'm going to do is pull off my card, which is my Foxhound here. And as I mentioned in the tutorial where I showed you how I resize my cards, I've got my Erica right here, which I did in that video. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to be using Erica as like my little template. So I'm going to bring Erica across to the 9 cards that we've just put up. And as you can see, there's only a little bit of scaling up that I need to do, but before I do that I need to add the cut line. So I'm going to go on all 9 of the cards, all 9 layers, click on the F icon, go to stroke. The colour of the outline depends on you, but I go for black because this is just going to be an outline that where we know where to cut for our cards out. So I'm just going to do the exact same now on all the layers. And make sure your pixel is no more than 3 pixels on your stroke. So now that all 9 cards have the cut line around them, so we know where to cut using guillotine or scissors, we can now highlight all 9 of the cards that we want to resize. And we're going to resize these all at once, all in one go. And this is why I like using Photoshop or any type of software where you've got layers, because it makes your life so much easier. The first thing we need to do is make sure, as you can see at the top here, that we've got the top lined up exactly where Erica is. Like that. And then we just need to go to the bottom now. And you can see that is how much we need to upscale all 9 cards. So make sure you've got all 9 cards highlighted. To select all the layers in one go, all you need to do is click on the bottom one, hold down your shift key, and then click on the top one, let go of your shift key, and that will highlight all the layers in between the top and the bottom of your layers. And then just go to edit, transform, scale, hold down your shift key, and then just go to the bottom anchor point, and then just pull until the bottom lines up with a template of the card size that you want, and then let go. Then just double check the top, and as you can see, the top there and the bottom are now lined up with the Erica. So another tip I've got for you guys is you could either use your template layer now as a top layer or bottom layer, but what we're going to do, we're going to drag this over the top of the cards, and as you can see, they are all the exact same. Now if we bring Erica to the bottom again, they all are now the exact same. So that's how you can tell if your cards are sized to where you want. So let's just bring Erica back up to the top. So now I can turn Erica off because we no longer need her. So now it comes to the topic of today's video, is how do I actually plan my cards from when I print them out to put into booster packs. How I do that is pretty much simple. I try to go for about 6 common cards, 2 uncommon cards and 1 rare card, all on one sheet. So I'll show you what I mean. So for my game, my rarity is kind of hidden unless you know where to look, and that is basically these crystals on the corners here, where you can see where the name of the card, like Crystal E to Serpent, there's 2 coloured crystals. That's the rarity indicator for my cards. Blue is common, so I'm just going to bring the blues up because I said I want 6 blues, which are my commons. So there's the 6 common cards that I want for my sheet when it comes to printing my cards to make my booster pack. So the next one I'm going to do is going to be my uncommon, which are my bronze crystals. As you can see next to the foxhound's name, these are a bronzy colour. These mean they are uncommon. And Pamela should be an uncommon yet because she's got a bronze crystal. And the last one I always put on the actual sheets is a rare, so you get 1 rare, or a chance at least in the booster packs to get 1 rare, which is going to be my Midnight Dragon. I'm just checking everything's in line, which it is, and that is basically how I lay out my card sheet. So I've got my commons, which are the 6 here, I've got my 2 uncommons, and I've got my rare. Now you could, if you wanted to, you could either have 5 commons, 3 uncommons and 1 rare. But rare is meant to be there for a reason. It's going to be one card that's going to be the least amount of. So same for uncommon. So the common cards you want the most of. So that's kind of how I kind of plan my prints when I actually do them. So that is basically how I plan my prints. And the next thing I'm going to talk about is the backs of the cards. Now this is my back of my cards, and this is the exact same size as the front of my cards. All I got to do is duplicate it to have 9 on one sheet. And another thing to note, guys, is you don't have to leave like a little gap if you don't want to. That just helps me know where each card is. So when I cut them, I've not cut into another card by mistake and made one card cut shorter and longer than the other. But that's just me. I mean, you can just put these all grouped together without the lines in the middle, but I just like to have a little bit of an idea where each card is and a little bit of a separation. But that's just me. And speaking of backs, fronts, and actually how to actually lay out your cards ready for print, there is one shout out I'm going to give because I've asked Chris if I'm allowed to show it, and he said I could. So a big shout out to Chris from Wrath of Cause, because I've seen when he does his handmade prints how he actually lays his cards out and how he makes them, and I think it's a really cool idea. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you how Chris does it, because again he's allowed me to show you guys. But check out his channel, I will leave it linked in the description box below. And all I'm going to do with this, I'm going to drag one of my backs off and then close that. I'm going to drag 3 random cards just to show how Chris does his kind of layout I've seen in this tutorial. So I'm just going to turn these off for now, and I'm just going to pick one and the back. So what we're going to do, we're going to use Pamela first to show you what I mean. So what Chris kind of does is he actually prints his cards with the back next to the front of the card. So if we line these up kind of like that, and just make sure the bottom and the top, which they are. So that's kind of how Chris lays his cards out. So the point of it is, once they print out, Chris will then score where these 2 cards meet and then fold them and then glue it down, which I think is a cool idea. You're not having to worry about, you know, printing your backs off separately and then lining everything up and making sure your backs are actually the exact same size as your fronts once they've printed. So this is kind of a fun and unique way of doing it. Yes, you're going to get less cards printed off because you're doing a back and a front, and depending again, really I'm only going to be able to do 3 cards like this, because unless I do a card and a score and a back where you fold the back or the front down and then glue it, I'm only really going to be able to get 3 cards this way. But this is an easier way of actually getting your fronts and backs together without worrying about it too much, especially with glue cutting out and trying to put the front and the back on without, you know, misaligning it or putting it on a weird angle and ruining your cards trying to separate the 2 pieces to realign it all again. So this is still a good way of actually making your cards. This is why I wanted to show you. And a big thank you to Chris for letting me show you guys his method. So the next one I'm going to do, I'm just going to quickly do the rest. So in case you're confused when I said you're not going to be able to make many cards in this method, and I said that you can make 3 and 1 another way, what I meant by that is if we take, say we'll copy Pamela for this, and we'll drag her across here. And we want to keep her separate from these two because she's going to be folded and cut another way. So this way is optional. We could have Pamela there and the back underneath and then fold it. Or we could have Pamela at the bottom and the back on the top and fold it. Difference being is you're going to have to flip one of them around because obviously the text. So if we take Pamela, bring her down, it's probably easier to do it this way. Take a back, duplicate it, bring it across, then we're going to have to flip it kind of like this, so when we fold it the text is all there, and we also need to do a horizontal like that. Now another way to do the backs if I happen to click both those options is if we duplicate a new back, bring it across, and then go to edit, transform, and then rotate 180. That is perfectly aligned your card with the text the right way around. So when you print and fold it, the text is the right way when you read it. So that's just another little tip for you guys if you want a quicker way of doing that than clicking both options. But that is another way you could get 4 cards done, and you haven't got to worry about misaligning things once you printed them because you're not printing your fronts and your backs on 2 separate pieces of card. Unless you're able to actually use my other method, which I'll link up into the corner there, where I'll show you how to actually print your fronts and your backs on 1 sheet of card on double side. Another useful tutorial if you just want to use 1 piece of card to do your fronts and your backs. So check out that tutorial. But this is for those who struggle with that. This is just help you understand how I make my sheets ready for print and how to actually get your cards if you are struggling with your backs and your fronts. Another way of doing it, and thankfully Chris has allowed me to show you because I think it's a really cool idea. But anyway, that is basically another way of doing your cards and how to do your sheets ready for print. And that is it guys for this video. I just wanted to show you because I get asked quite a lot is how do I plan making my booster packs? How do I select the cards? What cards do I select? What rarities do I select when it comes to making the booster packs for you guys? So I thought this would be a good tutorial for that. Also, I wanted to show you how to resize your cards and also show you how, if you are struggling with your backs and your fronts, a way like Chris has shown, how to do it on 1 sheet where you're just folding the front to the back together and then just using glue to securely keep the card flat. Now Chris had said when it comes to cutting the cards out, make sure you score the where both the cards meet before you fold it. That helps keep it flat. He also has said if you do struggle with that, make sure you put like a book on it for a couple of minutes just to keep it flat, and then you are good to go. So again, thank you Chris for letting me show your technique, your method. Again, make sure you check out his channel. Again, linked in the description box below. If you are new to my channel, make sure you check out my other tutorials. And make sure you hit that subscribe button because I have loads of stuff on the way, from speed arts to tutorials and more fun things in the next couple of weeks. That is why I've got these sheets ready as well, because I've got a couple of cool things on the way that I'm going to do with these sheets. So make sure you subscribe. Thank you to everyone that likes my videos. Thank you to everyone that comments. And thank you everyone that watches my videos. You are all amazing. Thank you so much for the support. But until the next video guys, have fun making TCGs. Have fun playing TCGs and have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you in the next one. Goodbye guys.